Hello and welcome back to the channel. This is Living on Dividends, where we help you to make progress on your goal towards living on dividends. So today, there's been a lot of talk recently about all the Roundhill funds and all the new ones that are coming out. So I just wanted to make sure I remind everyone about the fact that yield is the biggest factor when it comes to multiplying and growing your wealth over time, not the frequency. So we're going to take a look at this today. So first off, here you can see we have all the distributions from QDTE mapped out here, every single one of them. And you notice a pattern here that if you look at all of these, until the last 4 payments, right, it had never paid over 50 cents, right? So you can see that the highest was this 37 here, right? So it wasn't even paying up here in the 40s and 50s. So these are like anomalies. These are not normal payments. And even so, here we did the average here. So you can see here, this is the average when you subtract out those high abnormal payments that came recently. And you can see the total average payment that this thing is bringing out is 27 cents. 27 cents a payment, right? And if you include the other ones, right, you can see here, verification, you include the other ones, still, the average is only 31.91 cents, right? So if you go through and calculate the yield, the current stock price was $42.48 when I looked at it earlier. We can just check it now. $42.43, so it's even lower. Anyways, $42.43 here. So we'll just make that slight update. It doesn't really matter, but so you can see here that the average yield percentage-wise, the percent yield is 39. And for the higher one, if you include those higher payments. But if you don't include those higher payments, then it's only 33. So you're getting a 33.9% yield or a 39% yield on this fund, right? So that's what you really should be using. Now, if you go to their website, right, they took this high payment, and it's not even correct today, right now. And I'll show you. If you copy this and just do equals this number times 52, and you divide it by the, what was it, 42, 43, something like that. 42, 43. So you divide it by 42, 43, you get 58.3% yield. But for some reason, they're advertising as 67. So they haven't updated their website. So I don't know why. It says as of 7/31. So, today is the 26th. So they're way off. Anyways, so we'll do both. We'll do both scenarios. We'll do the average yield of 39.11% yield, which is what you're actually getting. Not this 58. This is based off the last distribution, which is abnormally high, which we've seen from the data, right? We're going to use data. So we'll do both, but we'll do the 58%, 58.31 because it's higher, right? So here we have our calculators, right? So we're going to do QDTE. And you can see it has the 42.43 share price. We're going to compound this weekly and drip it. We're going to do 1,000 shares. We're not going to contribute any money. We're not going to do any tax. We're going to have a nice simple thing. Okay, so here we're going to do the 58.31. So we're going to do the 58.31% yield that we just calculated. And that is based off the latest distribution. That is not the actual yield we have seen over the year. So this is actually a higher yield than what we're actually have received if you would have held this multiple weeks, right? So if you do this, we're going to do it for 10 years. Okay, so we're going to calculate this for 10 years, right? Five years, sorry. Okay, so we did it for 5 years. So 5 years, and we start off with 1,000 shares, and we reinvest everything, and the yield is at 58%. You're gonna have a balance of 770,000, and your average, your annual dividend income is gonna be 600,000 a year, right? So this is the thing that everyone's like getting real hype over, right? But the thing is this fund is weekly, right? We have weekly distributions. Everyone's hype about this weekly distribution, and it's so great. And we're just gonna dump all our money in, and who cares about math? Who cares about what everything actually looks like? We're just gonna dump it, and that's it. So we're gonna do the same 10 years. I mean, the same 5 years, right? For Misty, right? So what do you guys think it's gonna be? What do you think, right? So it's monthly. We're doing monthly for Misty instead of weekly, right? So like 4 times less per month. I mean per year, right? You're getting 52 distributions, and here you're only getting 12 a year. But because the yield, right? We're just doing 90% yield. You're doing 90% yield here because if you go to this dealio, I can't believe it closed exactly at 25. It's kind of crazy. If you go here, you'll see this is at 94%, and this is like the lowest I've ever seen it since it launched. Like it's always been like over 100 for every time I've seen it. But anyway, so we're even using lower distribution than what it even says on the website. So anyway, if you look here, you do the comparison, and you see you have almost $2 million. So over here with QDTE and your weekly that you're compounding, you only have 770, right? And over here you get almost 2 million. And look at the annual dividend, 2.6 million annual dividend. And over here you only have 600,000. So when everyone tells you like, oh, you compound weekly, so you're gonna get there faster, you're gonna get more money. It's like, well, no, that's not necessarily true. It all depends on what the yield is. And if you have a low yield, like you've been seeing coming from this fund, you're still not gonna be able to compete over time with something like Misty. It's giving you 100%. So if we do this for 8 years, let's see, 7, 6. So if you did it an extra year, so 6 years, you would be closer as far as the ending balance. But the other thing you guys have to remember, right, is that Roundhill is also a higher fund, right? This fund is $42 and Misty's 25, right? So what does the calculator say? 25 divided by 42, 43, right? So it's almost 60%, right, lower in cost, right? It's not quite half, but it's almost, it's almost double the price. So when you factor that in, right, you're going to be able to get more shares because it's a lower price. So you can see that even if you go to 6 years, the ending balance is more, right? Or wait, it's still not more actually. It's closer though, 1.3 and 1.9. So just go to 7 because it's going to be over though. So if you do it for 7 years, so 2 more years longer, right? You're going to have higher ending balance, right? By like 500,000, but still the annual dividend is 1.9. And with Misty is still 2.6, right? So you're talking about 700,000 difference in income. So you still have 700,000 more in income, even though you have a lower balance here. Yeah. So I just want to make sure that everyone is aware, and we're looking at numbers, real numbers, accurate things, and we're taking into account everything. And yield really matters. Yield is like a big factor. And if you're sacrificing your yield, you're gonna literally make less money. So that's what we want to make sure we're looking at. 2.2 and 2.7. 2.7. What is this? 2.6. Okay, so if QDTE was compounding weekly and it had an 80% yield, then the ending balance would be more, but the annual dividend would be 2.7, and here's 2.6. So that would be comparable. Then you could say, okay, I have more income and it's the same amount in the same 5 years if this is doing 80%. But you see how far off that is, right? That the website is showing 67, right? So you're 13% off from where you need to be just to break even, right? Just to be even with this, right? So that's why yield is very important, and you guys want to make sure you're looking at the yield. And what my strategy has been is to build up the income first, right? So get something that has a higher yield and build up your income. And then once your income is built up and established, now you can go down into these lower yielding funds, because now you have 10K a month you could put into QDTE. And in 10 months, now you have 100,000 invested in QDTE. And maybe at that point, you're getting your 2,000-3,000 a month or whatever it is at that point. Share price. So what would that be? 142.43, 100. So 23.56. So 23.57. Let's do 23.57. Oh, it's not gonna do it for no years. What about 0.1 years? Does that work? Oh, they did that thing. Oh, geez. 1 year. So 1 year, you reinvest everything, you're getting 268,000. Oh wait, that's not right, because this was the real number is, what's the real number? 5831. 5831. So if you do 100,000 for 1 year, you'll end up with 178,000, and then you'll have 140,000 annual income. 140, right? 140, right? 3340 or whatever. 40. So you're getting your, let's call it 11,500 a month. That, sure, we'll go with that. That doesn't seem right. But I guess it is closer to 200,000. Interesting. Well, anyways, whatever. So you're getting that much. If you had 100, let's do this for Misty. Now I'm curious. So you get your 4,000. So 4,000, and we'll do 1 year. So So 329,000 annual income versus 140. So, you know, almost 200,000 more in income. And like, what is that, 50, whatever, 60,000 more ending balance. Yeah, anyway, so yeah, so I hope everyone gets the gist of this, and we're, you know, really paying attention to yields. I know you want to get paid weekly. I trust me, I get it, but I if you want to speed up your portfolio, get the payments coming in faster, you got to go for higher yield first, and then, you know, build up, and then after that, that's my plan. After, you know, hitting 10K a month, then go down to some of these weeklies and start getting a more lower baseline but more consistent pay that I know, you know, be more stable and come in more consistently. So instead of waiting a whole month to get boom 10K. So yeah, the last thing I'm gonna say is this is the screenshot from my account. You can see that back when I started my account in July, I did buy and own QDTE, but you can see the next day I sold out of it at a loss, a slight loss, because I didn't want to start my portfolio off on a lower yielding fund. I really want to get that higher yielding stuff so I get more income coming in to build it up, that snowball faster. So at the end of the day, you know, you can make your own decisions, do what you want to do, but I just want to make sure I provide information so people can really analyze this, really run your numbers and decide on, you know, how you want to invest going forward. But I am excited for all the other funds. I want to see what their yields are. And if their yields are high enough, I'll invest in them. Maybe even get out of some yield max stuff. But I hope you guys have a good evening and catch you in the next video. Peace.